If you enjoyed the video or any of the other content on the channel, feel free to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. So for this video, I figured I would give my thoughts on the changes to Trajann. When the Codex comes out, Trajann is going to lose his fights first with his moment shackle, as well as his modifiers for ignoring all modifiers. He's now just going to ignore any of the minuses to hit or any of the minuses to his ballistic skill and for his unit as well. So it's not near as strong. Losing the fight first is really hurtful because you can't use him as a threat and just kind of put him in the middle of the board and, you know, challenge someone to charge him. He really stops him. He was really helpful for putting in front of a World Eater charge to stop Engron from charging into your ranks, or even some big Exalted 8 bounds. You used to be able to put him up there and just kind of dare people to charge into him. You won't be able to use him like that now. And more importantly, losing the ignore modifiers really hurts. He was our way to get past Catan and anything that kind of did -1 damage, because bringing our spears from 2 damage to 1 damage really hurts. And especially with Armor Contempt, he really helped with that too. He was able to, you know, help you punch through units. It was only just him, so it was a little weird that they kind of nerfed him quite badly. There's still some play with him. We're going to go through some of the ideas and some of the things we can still do with him, but hopefully the points go down. And I'm still hopeful for Trajann, just because I do enjoy him. I do enjoy the character. I like the way he looks, so I'm still going to try to find some ways to get him in some of the lists. Alright, so I'm going to go over the changes, and then I'll go over my thoughts of what we might still be able to do with him. So he does lose his ignore all modifiers. Like I said, it's now just ignores anything -1 to hit or anything to your ballistic skill. That does hurt because it now no longer has a option to really reliably kill Catan or anything that kind of innately minuses our damage. Because like I said before, anything that takes our spears down to -1, like Redemptors, can really slow us down, because we want to be able to pretty much kill a unit and then just keep on going, because we don't have a lot of units to spread, so we can't spend a lot of time against a bunch of different units slowing us down, getting on to objectives. And not having Trajann be able to ignore some of these modifiers is really going to hurt us. So there's still lots of room for Trajann, still going to be in the list, but I think that is going to hurt us the most and hurt him the most, his viability, because that gave him a utility. It gave him a utility piece of those things you could do, put him in rapid ingress, threaten people to charge him. Now, not having that, you're going to find some different ways to use him. Mostly probably you're going to be having him in rapid ingress, because he's not going to be a first turn threat anymore. Even charging into him is not going to be either nearly as threatening anymore and dangerous. So like I said, losing the ignoring all modifiers is probably going to hurt him the most and hurt the viability of bringing him in competitive lists. You can always bring him in friendly lists, but competitive lists, he's probably going to lose a lot of his auto include that he used to be. The next thing they changed is the moment shackle. So the moment shackle, it stays the same, so you can still double his attacks or give him a 2-up invulnerable, but they did take away the fights first, and that is also going to hurt Trajann's viability quite a bit, because it's not just the detachment with the fights first stratagem. It's going to be now with all the detachments. He's no longer going to have that fights first threat. He's no longer going to be really awesome with some wardens sitting in the middle, ignoring modifiers, just daring people to come charge in. And it was just that one unit, so it's weird because it's not like your entire army. You never know, there could be some stratagems that allow you to ignore modifiers, but having him change a lot of his abilities this way and giving him, they might bring his points down, but even with some lower points, it's going to be hard to kind of take him competitively over shield captains. But yeah, I'm losing the fight first, because you don't have to worry about having him on objective. You could have him moving up the table and don't have to worry about getting caught in the middle if you fail to charge or you fail to advance. But not having that is going to really take away having him kind of be a big, reliable, threatening unit. So in case you did fail charges, or you didn't, fully kill a unit, you don't have to worry about another unit charging into you. Now he's got a lot more situational now, sadly. Old Trey. Trajann, I think the unit you're going to want to put him with now are going to be the Custodian Guard. The Wardens, he's going to lose the ignore modifiers in the fights first, so you're really going to want to use him with the Custodian Guard to maximize that moment shackle of getting the 12 attacks. You want to be able to somehow reroll your wounds if you can get onto objective you can control, or at the least you're going to reroll your wounds of 1. So I think Custodian Guard with Trajann is going to be your go-to for now, because like I said, the Wardens, you're not going to get reroll wounds, and he doesn't have the fights first anymore, so it's not a good combo just for sitting on the middle of the table just hoping people will charge you or kind of charging at people. I think Custodian Guard is going to be the way to go with him, and we'll see how he's going to be pointed. Hopefully he goes down in points, because if he goes down in points, having him in deep strike with some custodian guard, with 5 custodian guard, waiting to rapid ingress on someone is a big threat. Especially, and I'll talk a little bit about the Revere's Companions detachment. So with that movement stratagem that they have, I think Trajann with some guard could be a big threat. But we're going to wait to see with the rest of the stratagems, the Western enhancements and everything, to see if taking a shield captain with some of these enhancements and stratagems, be able to double up or use them for free if they're a battle tactic. See how Trajann stacks up against a real shield captain with all the bells and whistles on him. So we're going to chat a little bit about the Revered Companions. We only know a little bit about it, the 2 enhancements, the 2 stratagems, and the detachment. Once again, I think Trajann's not going to do well in this detachment. He already has a 5 of Fuel No Pain against pretty much everything baked right in, because it's a regular 5 of Fuel No Pain. So he won't benefit from the detachment getting the 5 of Fuel No Pain against Mortals and Psychic. The stratagems would be pretty cool to use the movement strategy on him to get him to move a little bit. The shooting one would be decent too, because his shooting is better. I do believe they changed the name too to like the Screaming Eagle or something like that, but his shot is already AP2 damage 3. That stratagem, the shooting stratagem, you could get Trajann's and his guard, so Trajann would be at AP3 damage 3 and his squad would be at AP2 damage 2, and his weapon is a little stronger too, so it'd be strength 6 with the stratagem. But I think a shield captain in that detachment's probably going to be the way to go. I just can't see Trajann really, without the fights first in the moment shackle, finding a place to outshine having a shield captain, even a Terminator shield captain with some of these, maybe a Leia and a couple of these Vigilators. You have to make some room for these sisters and these rhinos. You can't just take a whole bunch of these sisters and hardly any Custodes. You're going to have to kind of get a nice balance. So I think we're going to have to really be careful with how many characters we bring. Sadly, the Trajann's probably not going to have a lot of room in this detachment. Finish the video off. It's not all doom and gloom. Yes, he doesn't have the tools and the utility that he used to have, but I think we're still going to be able to find some tools, some ways to play him on the board, and I really think that him with some custodian guard can be really effective. It would be super cool and awesome if they made him be able to join Terminators. With these nerfs he's kind of took to his abilities, I think him with some Terminators wouldn't be as broken as it used to be. 6 Terminators with Trajann fights first, ignoring all modifiers. Yes, that would have been super scary, but now with the changes to him, I think he could join Terminators, and I think that'd be really cool. Maybe the Auric Champions allows him to join there. That'd be really neat. Probably wishful thinking, but I think it'd be pretty cool. And like I said, it's not doom and gloom. He doesn't have the same, throw him at Catan, throw him at something that needs to die and get rid of it, or stand him in the middle, but there's still going to be some ways to use him. One of my favorite custodian models. I'm going to find ways to use him. I'll let you guys know, and I'm going to keep you guys all up to date on any of the Custodians news and the detachment rules that come out, or any of the articles, and I'll have the Codex when it comes out. And if you like the video, feel free to subscribe. I'm going to be on top of any of the Custodes content that comes out. Codex, we're going to be playing lots of games when that comes out. So if you're kind of jonesing for some Custodes information, subscribe, and like I always say, thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by.